Hi everyone, this is Caroline from the Travel Blog. So I really wanted to touch base on this next important subject about the NSA, the National Security Agency. So lately, what has been really shocking to me is the fact that this government agency has the authority to collect our information without our authorization. It's just mind-boggling. So right now, according to Bloomberg, according to CNN, according to New York Times, everyone's covering it, that the Senate has blocked legislation that would limit the national security's bulk collection of phone records. So they're collecting all of these records. I doubt they're able to screen everything, but they're collecting and collecting. Collecting for what? To decode, to analyze, to take this, to use it against you. I mean, there are other methods of figuring out who are the criminals, who are the ones corrupting the nation, the ones who are causing havoc, disorder around the country. Don't need to collect the innocent people who are having conversations with their family members. It's an invasion of privacy. It's like when you're on the phone, can I say this? Can I say that? Are they listening to me? Are you sharing your most intimate details with your significant other on your cell phone? It's like, why even bother to use the phone? You might as well just wait to say it in person. So, as far as travel news, because that's really the gist of what all of the videos that I've made are about different things that are affecting travel. I mean, this definitely affects travel because when you leave the house, you check your phone, you're traveling, right? Traveling from here, you're traveling from there, believing that what you're saying is not being recorded without your consent. So they're proposing to block this. I mean, they're blocking it, and the NSA have been doing this for more than a year. So Edward Snowden exposed the extent of the U.S. government surveillance programs. So they failed to get the 60 votes to advance the bill today. So they have to set up a new version and see if that'll get passed. So the bill was an attempt to force spy agencies to collect only information sought through a court order and to exclude the use of broad searches like zip codes. So there was a coalition of internet and technology companies like Google, Twitter, who supported the bill, while saying the Republican-backed House version passed in May would still allow bulk collection of internet user data. The USA Freedom Act eliminates tools critical to the intelligence community's ability to prevent terrorist attacks, and its adoption would greatly degrade our ability to fight domestic terrorism in particular. So me talking to my grandmother is really going to prevent them fighting terrorism. Like, really? I don't think so. They have so many departments. They need to use their mobility. They use the tactics that are given to them and not read our private information on our phones. It's very private. If I really didn't need this cell phone, I would not even use it. I would just throw it away. But I need this phone to communicate. And they get you with these phones because if the phone didn't do so much as far as, you can search the internet, you can go to all these apps on here, you can send email, you can play games. Like, no one would really be attached to a phone the way we are right now. It's because it's like we're holding our lives in our hands sometimes. And it's like, even with me, if I don't see my phone within like 3 seconds, I'm like, oh my goodness, where did my phone go? So it's just mind boggling. Like, how much we really love our phones. Not even love, but it's it's more of a want, but then it just turns into a need. Like, we need our phones. And it's gonna devastate us. It's gonna cripple us more than advance us with all of these new laws as far as them being able to send drones above us, send a single signal from our phone to a fake signal, and that's how they're able to intercept our phone conversations. So that's one of the things that they're currently doing with the smartphones. And what really amazed me was that they have been doing this since the 90s. In the 90s, they did not have smartphones. So it's like they had this technology for that long, and how it doesn't even really. And that's how I know that sometimes they hold back some technology. Like I was saying to someone else, they might even have like a teleportation device. That would pretty much cut out travel, right? You would not need you would not need an airplane. You would not need a helicopter. You would not need a train or cars. You just teleport yourself from place to place. So I would love to do that. I'd be the first one to sign up for that one. But we have not reached that phase of technology yet. And sometimes I think with new technology, it almost makes us go backwards instead of forwards. Is with our rights, because how can we move forward and then our rights get limited and limited more and more with new technologies to control us? So this is not meant to be some type of paranoid attempt at the government is watching us. They are watching us. They just told us on the news. Like, it's not a if, maybe, oh, they might be. It's been said on the television that they have been collecting data on this information. So I mean, this is just crazy. So basically, Facebook, Google, Apple, they're opposing the bill. They say that it's very unacceptable that they're collecting all of these people's information, and I will be a proponent about it. If I can march up there in the Senate and tell them, hey, don't pass that bill, you know, to let them infringe on our rights, I would. But I'm not in a position to do so. I'm sure there's a change.org that can be that's addressing this issue right now, but I think there's a limit. And I thought that's why we have checks and balances, to check each department and make sure they're not overreaching their power. They definitely are overreaching their power. And look, it says here it started pre-2001. You know, with the whole 9/11 thing, that's when that started. And they came up with the Patriot Act to encroach more into our rights. So I mean, I don't want there to be terrorists out there, but there's a balance between our civil rights, aka what's in the Constitution, and other stuff. I mean, what else is there? The Constitution is supposed to uphold our rights, but they create all these new bills and stuff to contradict our own rights, take away our ability to be human beings, to take away our unalienable rights. I said that right. So it's one by one, and if we don't stand up for what our rights are, then no one will. So I hope everyone is listening to this. It's not even a review, because this is more of like a statement. This really outraged me. And, you know, with having this platform like YouTube, it really gives me an area to kind of voice my opinions about this. So they have lots of different locations. Look at all of these locations. This is where our tax money is going to. Like, really? They have one in California. They have one in Maryland. They have one in Honolulu. They have one in Georgia, Tennessee. They're all over the place. They got one internationally. My goodness. Look at this. NSA's eavesdropping mission includes radio broadcasting, both from various organizations and individuals, the internet, telephone calls, and other intercepted forms of communication. I mean, you know, with that whole microchip thing, it'll be internet, telephone calls, and microchips. Like, my dog has a microchip, and if I would have known, you know what? Like, if I'm hugging my dog because he's listening to me, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't even have him have that microchip, but it's too late now, because he already has it. So, it's just gone above and beyond. Look at this. Protesters against NSA data mining in Berlin wearing Bradley Manning and Edward Snowden masks. Because it's a violation. It's a violation. I don't know how else to express that. I don't believe they should be listening to us. If someone's saying some crazy stuff about they're gonna wanna, you know, kill someone or murder someone, then that's understandable. But listening to granddaughters and grandmas conversations, moms and sons conversations, is not necessary. And collecting all of that information, like, this is just based on collecting. Like, they're not even saying they shouldn't listen. This bill that they're coming out with is saying they should not just collect everything. So they're in some way saying that they're fine. They can go ahead and listen to all they want. But they're saying, what are they doing with this collection? I think they had to stop somewhere. There's a stopping point. And look, it said it formed and it's been 62 years ago. Armed Force Security Agency, defending our nation, securing the future. I mean, what are they securing? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that they should really step back a little bit about this. But I'll have another video. I'm definitely gonna keep close about this and see what they do. I'm gonna, find a petition on change.org, do whatever I can because this